One of the biggest subjects currently in NHL community is about the BND cards, and have a lot of people in the player base think that BND cards absolutely broke the hat. So hello YouTube and welcome back to another NHL 25 video. Today I want to share my 5 cents no one really asked about and talk about the BND cards in NHL 25. It's something we never really seen before, and unfortunately EA decided that it's a good idea. I personally actually think it's a good idea, and today I will give you an explanation why. But as we all know, it's just implemented really badly. First things first, I want to know how many BND cards do I actually have in my collection, and I even didn't know I have 47, and most of them are these XP set cards. Are these cards usable? No, but they were a choice pack, so basically at the end of the XP path you would end up with every single card. Personally I think then these cards are not bad for people who are just starting out or just, let's say, are building a teams, because every single card could be upgradable to the highest overall. For example, this Mark Scheifele or Dylan Strome or even, let's say, Pyotr Kochetkov can be upgraded all the way to the 88, and it's not a bad overall. The reason we really hate the BND cards is because it broke the sets. You cannot do the autofill, you cannot do the multi-select, and if the BND cards would not break the sets, 80% of the community would not even care about these cards. There's also a lot of noise about these weekly sets and the rewards. Obviously we remember at the beginning of the year we was able to complete the objectives and get this Will Cooley or Pierre-Luc Dubois or Brendan Carlo, and none of these cards really are usable, and I think that's also an issue. If this card would be like, let's say, an 86 overall, 87 overall, no one would really complain. So the question would be, is the BND actually bad in NHL 25, or just the delivery of the content is bad? I also don't think that actually releasing an 87 overall Jack Eichel at the beginning of the game as a first XP path reward is also bad. Yes, you cannot really trade this card in, but for example, you're playing the game, you're not spending any money. This 87 overall Jack Eichel is usable card. Some people are still using it in their teams, including myself. Maybe that's because we don't really have a lot of right-handed wingers, or let's say I'm not really making any hologram icons, or I'm just not spending money. But the card is not bad. Season 2 XP reward was this Victor Hedman, 90 overall left-handed defenseman. For people who are Tampa Bay Lightning fans or just, I don't know, are building Sweden team, also a really great card. But at the same time I understand why people are saying it's not worth the grind. Not everyone was really lucky and pulled, let's say, Sanaheim or Parayko or any other cool fantasy cards. So just for the context, let's say you absolutely missed the fantasy event and you picked up the game around the Christmas or something like that, and you have to grind for your rewards. Is this Victor Hedman unusable card? Absolutely not. He's on my first defensive pair with ASP. And that's another thing I want to talk about. The sets. If you can get a discount for a set where you can potentially get a high overall card, I think it's a good idea. I can trade in, let's say, 15 collectibles or 20 collectibles, or I don't know, let's say even 40 collectibles for a fantasy card and get a guaranteed one. And it will be an untradeable. That untradeable card may never score and can stay, let's say, at 85 overall. Or I can trade in 15 collectibles or 6 collectibles like it was with the junior event. And considering I was lucky with my 6 collectibles and managed to pull this fantasy Axel Sandin-Pellikka, who we really didn't know will score a lot of goals and will end up with a 93 overall card, it's still a win. And considering it only cost me 383 overall cards, I would really say this is a good discount. It's not like EA really don't understand what the community want and how to implement the BND set, because they basically already did that. Because when we are trading in 4 X Factor captains, we are getting this supercharged Connor McDavid, and once you do that, you also get 2 captains back as a BND. And that makes sense. You're trading in 4 high overall cards or cards which cost you a lot to make, and you're getting something back. So the fact that you are not losing every single X Factor captain is a W in my opinion. But team builder sets are where they drop the ball. I don't understand why by trading in 2 86 overall team builders, we would not get at least 1 back. It would just make sense. That 1 86 overall BND card as a team builder could still be a usable card for any objectives in the future. I personally would still like to use Mike Gardner, for example, but unfortunately once you trade him in, it's gone. So what I'm trying to say is EA is fully aware how to deliver BND content, but no one knows really why they are not doing it. So I don't have any issues with BND card being as a reward as far as that card is usable for a period of time. What I don't want to see is getting an 86 overall BND card as a reward by grinding the objectives, because we currently have 89 overall MSPs, and that's basically the maximum overall we have for the MSPs at the moment. So if you grind the objectives and get as a reward 86 overall BND card, that card is not usable, not even for a team, and we all also saw the stats. The PWHL reward, for example, is probably the worst BND card I saw. So the way of fixing that is BND card should always be high overall, so people really want to use it, people can use it in their teams. Why not make these 88 overall cards? Then a lot of people will be, you know what, I know it's a BND, but 88 overall is still making my team if I'm just starting out, or maybe that player is from my favorite team, and giving us a higher overall cards in no way would affect the auction house, in no way would affect anything. It would just give players more cards to use. Like I already mentioned in the beginning of the video, if the sets would not be broken and autofill would work and all that stuff, a lot of people would not not even talk about the BND cards, because every single set, every single objective is optional, so you don't really have to do that. But because sometimes eventually you still complete it by just playing the game, those cards are getting into your collection, then you cannot do the sets and everyone is getting angry. Which absolutely makes sense. I personally also don't like to fill the cards one by one into the sets if I'm making an MSP or anything like that. So the fix for that would be a storage set, which we all know that we saw that in NHL 24, in NHL 23, but everyone is like, why the hell EA cannot give us a storage set in NHL 25 as well? So I personally asked EA content team why the hell we still don't have this storage set. And the answer I got was, then they are looking into it, there is something wrong with the code, because we all know 12 months is not enough to actually create a new game. So what they usually do, they just rewrite the code until it becomes an absolute mess. So every single time they want to add something, they probably end up breaking even more. But I still have a hope that in the future, even this year, we still will see a storage set, and that would help a lot of people. Considering I have 47 BND cards in my collection, I wanted to go and see what kind of team can I actually make. So these are my BND cards. We have 87 overall Logan Couture in the center, which also is a really stupid thing where you have to play the game every single day for 20 days to be able to upgrade this card by 1 overall. Where at the same time we are getting 89 overall BND cards as a reward for the moments. This card is not making anyone's lineup as far as you're not a die-hard Sharks fan. I still think that 89 overall JT Miller was not a bad reward on Christmas. If it was a choice pack, would be even better, but it's still a usable card, and every single time I see other people posting their teams, JT Miller most of the time is still on the team. These cards are absolute useless, but eventually, like I said, you still complete the objectives and you still earn those rewards. You can always quick sell those cards. I personally don't do that because I still have a hope, and I believe that at some point we will see something where these BND cards will be used. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm just delusional, and maybe I just put too much hope into EA, but it doesn't really bother me. So the way I fix the sets for myself is I create a BND lineup, and every single time I'm making an MSP where I have to autofill and stuff like that, I have this lineup active, because the game will never really try to select the players from your active lineup. So every other card from the BND will be sold, and I will just keep one lineup with the best 20 BND cards I have. And in that way, the sets will work for the remaining of the year. Giving us back the captain cards was a perfect way. Giving us a cheaper sets to make, let's say, a fantasy card, in my opinion, again, also a good idea. Don't have any issues with having an XP path reward as a BND card and stuff like that. And you never know, you could be lucky and pull a 93 overall Axel Sandin Pelika as a BND card. So basically what I'm trying to say, I don't think it's black and white. I think the actual idea of BNDs is really cool, and EA just need to figure out the best way of delivering it. Fix the set for the start. If you cannot fix the autofills and multi-selects, give us a storage set. But that storage set should also work so we can actually put those cards in. Because something someone mentioned in my Discord, storage set would not allow you to put the BND cards in, because obviously BND cards are not for sets. So that's why they need to rewrite the code and make those sets actually usable, or just specifically for BND cards. If they figure how to do that, then every single card in my collection would really not bother me at all, because I would still be able to autofill and those cards will just sit in my collection and collect the dust. And the last solution probably would be allow us to quick sell them for some kind of, I don't know, let's say 5,000 coins. The higher the overall, the more coins you could get. Then at least people would be able to make some coins. I think in other EA games like Madden you can quick sell the BND cards for coins. Maybe I'm wrong, so if you're playing Madden and you actually know you can get some coins, please let me know down in the comment sections below. But I'm pretty sure I heard that you can get coins by quick selling the BND cards in Madden. So can you just imagine, let's say I would be able to quick sell every single BND card for, let's say, 5,000 coins. I would be able to quick sell all these cards, which I don't really need, and make myself, let's say, 20, 30, 40k coins. That would also be a really good option. At the moment, they just sit in the collection and don't really do anything. You can quick sell them, so basically the sets will work for you. I will just wait and see, and hopefully EA will give us something at the end of the game. So yes, this is my 86 overall BND team. I basically just played the game, did some sets, was not really lucky with NHL fantasy set, but definitely was lucky with the juniors. So what I want to do now, I want to go and take this team into the One Rivals game to see if, let's say, I only would use BND cards, can I win a game? And while I search for the game, let me know down in the comment sections below. Do you actually really hate the BND cards in NHL 25, or you just don't like how they're being implemented into the game? Do you think there is a way of fixing BND cards and making it actually usable? And if yes, what that way would be? I know there is a lot of negativity around Reddit about the BND cards and all that stuff. But I really think that the reason why people are angry is because it's messing up with the sets. One thing I also like about the BND, you know, when you can trade in 30 collectibles from each event and you can get yourself a guaranteed 88 overall BND card, that at least gives you a guaranteed 88 overall card where you can just, okay, you know, I will get something good, something usable. But what I would not recommend is doing that set twice, because you really don't want to end up with 2 BND cards you cannot really do anything about. So if EA decided to keep the BND cards, let's say for NHL 26 as well, they definitely need to find a ways for us to use those cards, or give at least us a higher overall cards to use. I'm wondering what would be the next BND card for Season 3. We will see on Thursday. It has to be a player who really don't have any MSPs or any usable cards. And if that card, let's say, becomes a Season 3 XP reward like main card, it means we will not see an MSP for that card for a long time again. There is no way this team can win anything. The fact that he didn't score yet is really funny. I think the only way I will score with these cards will be if I will go for cross crease or one tees or something like that. I was actually laughing when I was reading all these comments about the BND cards. Everyone who pulled, let's say, Sanaheim or any other high overall fantasy card as their BND reward is definitely not complaining about the BND cards, because when you traded in your collectibles to get a discount to get that one BND card and now it ended up, let's say, being at 93 overall, you're 100% not complaining. If you pulled someone who didn't score anything, of course the BND cards are shit. How is Kucherov not fast enough? Whoa, that was nearly there. Okay. So yes, if let's say Forsberg would score 7 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals or something like that, and his card would be around 92, 93 overall, I would not complain at all. The fact that he's not scoring and he's at low overall, yes, I think making the BND set for fantasy card was really pointless, but it's also a risk and you really never know who you're gonna get. But the fact that we have this option, I don't mind. What I don't want to see in NHL video games is when they are releasing the BND packs, the ones we currently have in the store. I think there was one pack where you can actually spend real money and get an 85 overall BND card from event, just basically to complete the objectives. That's the dumbest crap I've seen in the game. And charging people money or asking them to buy the packs with that option is stupid. So yeah, I'm really wondering like what are your ideas about the BND, how to fix it. And obviously we all know that the sets and all that stuff would be the first priority in my opinion. But other than that, like how would you fix the rewards? Do you mind that the XP path reward is a BND card? I know probably untradeable reward will be like much better, because at least those cards in the longer run would have a more use. But I think it's quite clear that we know that EA will not give us an untradeable card as a reward, and the only untradeable reward we are really getting is in champs. Can you imagine the champs rewards also would be a BND cards? And my BND team is really bad and we lost the game. But it is what it is. I just wanted to see if I can win a game with the BND cards. Probably in 30 days or I don't know, in 60 days this team will be much better and I will actually be able to do something. But unfortunately until then we have to live with the BND cards in NHL 25. So yes, it's not black and white. I think BND have a huge potential in video game. EA just need to figure out how to properly deliver it. And it's all there. They already did it. They already showed that they can do that. The only thing I don't understand is why they don't do it. I hope you enjoyed today's yapping video. I really wanted to share my 5 cents about the BND cards in NHL 25. I really want to see what you think, guys. So make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down below and have a good one. See you on the ice.